Hello everyone, Jazz the Gamer here, and today I just wanted to share some cool little Alex tech that I found a couple of days ago because I actually kind of forgot to do my video this week. Oops. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, me calling this tech was a bit of an overstatement. I basically want to talk about one move that I think is a little underutilized. And that is the OD Hyper Bomb. I am like 70% sure that for most audiences, this is like their first time seeing this move. Or at least like their first time hearing about it. Or maybe they just forgot about it. Because like, yeah, this move is practically like non-existent when you see him being played by like anyone, right? I don't see anyone at Platinum or Diamond using this. Now, I don't see anyone in tournaments using this at all, but even if you want to argue it's just like tournament players don't use this thing, I'm in Diamond with Alex somehow, and I also don't really see anyone using that move there when I fight Alex players. Granted, he's still a new character and people are still figuring him out, but like, I think I'm in my right to figure things out too. And one thing that I've figured out is that this move gives you a pretty good knockdown. So that way, yeah, like you saw there, I can get a meaty drive rush medium punch. And for those who don't know what a meaty is, every move has 3 parts to it. The startup, which, as you can see by the frame meter, is the green, the active frames, which is pink, and the recovery frames, which is the blue. One thing that you can do if you knock the opponent down is that you can actually like time a move so that it hits during the later active frames, thus changing its frame advantage on both hit and block. This can basically open up new combo opportunities or make block strings even more airtight. Even without like a counter hit or anything, stand medium punch, if hit meaty, can be at most plus 11. But even if it like hits on the later 2 and is like, plus 9 or something like that, or 10, then that's still really good, right? Because this move right here is 9 frames. And it's one of the most important moves for Alex's overall combo game a lot of the time. So being able to like combo into that is definitely really good. And even if they like don't get hit by it, right? The reason I'm not like actually doing it is because like I have some difficulties doing it. I'm just gonna throw some footage on screen of me like actually successfully doing the combo off the meaty drive rush medium punch. Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed about this move, but then I started experimenting more and realized that there's actually a lot more that can be done with this move. First off, you can actually cross up with this. Granted, you can't really like cross them up if you do an attack afterwards, but it's still really interesting. You can like cross them up and then go for like a throw. Maybe you can like cross them up and go for like low. That's always a possibility. Heck, another thing you can do off of this, power bomb. Another cool thing about like OD Hyper Bomb is the fact that like Prowler stance is actually usable after the fact, even if it's not like to the same degree as if it's like, up close and personal. Like after say, OD knee, you can go for the jab, which doesn't get you all that far, but is still pretty good. The hop is also pretty usable here for mix-ups, like, go overhead, go low, go for a throw, whatever. And one really cool thing about it is that this is like auto-spaced heavy slash elbow from Prowler, which is really cool and, is basically like an extra reversal or approach option. I'd say the only weaknesses of this technique is the fact that like you can't necessarily do mix-ups as well as you could from like other things, but even then, Alex is not like a huge mix-heavy character outside of like strike throw. High-low he's definitely pretty good at. Left right isn't really his forte, but he is still competent at it because of the short hop. Another thing I want to talk about is like the damage on counter hit. Because if you get a punish counter with this thing, holy smokes, that your opponent is going to be eating a nice 4,040 flipping damage. Jeez. But you want to know the crazy thing? That's not even the best part. The fact that even off the same starter, you wouldn't really be doing that much damage. Like, sure, that may have given you a knockdown, but it's one that the opponent can, like, you know, roll back from, which definitely can limit Alex's offense in a lot of scenarios. Meanwhile, the back turn not only does more damage, but places them in a hard knockdown, so they can't roll away from you like they can from a heavy knee knockdown. And even if we were to go from a different starter, even something as simple as that actually burns you out though, right? Because like it burns you out. And even if you were to, you know, add a super at the end, even if you add a super, it doesn't do as much damage as this into this. That is flipping ridiculous to me. Granted, I'm definitely not the best at Alex combo theory. I'm pretty sure there are people out there who can absolutely find stuff more optimal even if it does burn you out. But still, the fact that you can come up with something that's more optimal that still burns you out, and this is like not only easier, but also just like more damaging technically, is flipping ludicrous to me. Now, I will obviously give it a little bit of credit. The only way you are getting like full chop, like raw, even on like a punish counter even, right? You gotta have like the hardest reads in the universe to get that if you're not going to do it on a punish. But like, when the flip else do you expect to be doing this? Like what, do you expect to be hitting flash chops? No, you're gonna do that for a punish. That's like the best place to do it. And you know, it's honestly really fascinating how, like, you know, there's really nothing else that really does anything that like Hyper Bombs does. So like, why don't more people use it? It's like a perfect maneuver. Ah. Yeah, I think we found our reason. I'm gonna do some testing with this off screen real quick. Be right back.
Now, find a new rival.
Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Okay, so after some further testing, it appears that this follow-up right here, the chop, just does all of the same things that Hyper Bomb lets you do, but it is absolutely free and just does a little less damage. But even then, it's like 3,040. That's still not bad, even if it's like, you know, 1,000 less damage, right? Like, it's only 1,000 less damage. What am I saying? I sound insane. Only 1,000 less damage. Characters only have like 10k health each. Jeez. It's like a tenth more of their life bar that's getting excluded. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, only 1,000 more. Holy smokes. But yeah, you can also get like mix-ups off of this. You can also get a cross-up after this, but you can actually combo out of the cross-up. You can also get hop for pressure, and because, you know, Dan Medium Kick has some flipping absurd range, yeah, Yeah, that's just all spaced to be safe. So there it is. I've solved the mystery as to why Overdrive Power Drop, or Hyper Bomb, isn't being used as much as I think it could be. Because, like, for as much uniqueness as it brings. This just is a lot more consistent. Even though it does less damage, it certainly leaves them a lot closer and costs less. And usually, you know, cost efficiency usually takes the cake over like what you can get, right? If you can get good stuff for free, it's better than like really expensive stuff that like, yeah, may be good, but like, who knows? Maybe you can't afford to make that purchase right now. So yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. I definitely want to get this circulating more because I definitely think there is a very fascinating choice to be made between like, you know, this move and the hyper bomb. Especially because you're trading like, you know, a couple of bars of meter for more like positional advantage. Because like, where does this leave you? It leaves you like, you know, about like yay close to the corner. Meanwhile, from like the player 2 round start, definitely doesn't leave you as close to the corner. It is still decently far. So who knows? Maybe Hyper Bomb might actually be useless in the grand scheme of things. Maybe not. I just kind of wanted to put a spotlight on it. Like I said before, I would love to get this circulating. Like, imagine people in the Street Fighter 6 sphere just, like, keep talking about this move. Maybe some actually try it in actual matches. And then, like, you know, maybe a good use pops up. Maybe it has that moment of just like, oh boy, he did that move that we all forgot existed, and it actually wasn't a terrible choice. Oh, wait a second. We already have something like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like down below. Maybe subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications on future content. I'm Jazz to have been here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.